Absolutely fabulous. Something that this movie almost certainly isn't. So we have the big screen debut of the much loved TV show of the same name. So what usually happens when we have these kind of TV shows or comedies and they are transferred over to a movie, they don't quite work just as well. They don't quite translate as well. And I was aware of this before going in because it's happened a lot in the past. And I was, if anything, slightly worried. Because I really enjoyed the television show. And I really liked the humour that was in the television show. So I was kind of hoping they would retain that in its bigger form. But for me, it just didn't quite work. So we have Jennifer Saunders as Edina, or Eddie, and Joanna Lumley as Patsy. And the basic plot is, and it's a very thin plot, but again, you kind of came to expect that with this type of movie, really. But Eddie wants to be Kate Moss's PR, mainly due to the fact that both of them are running low on funds, and this is mentioned throughout the film. So it's kind of almost like a reflection on the current times as well. So in a way, I kind of like that. But she accidentally knocks Kate Moss into the Thames. So they both go on the run to the south of France. But it's at that point in the film that this movie loses that tightness and smartness that the TV show had. There are very few moments in this film that captures the magic from the TV sitcom. But there's too few of those moments. And what I mean by moments is it's the much smaller moments that we get between Eddie and Patsy that really kind of shine through what I think is a very unfunny movie. And it's in those very small moments that I did actually chuckle and I did laugh. But there was just too few of those moments. And overall, this film was very unfunny. Now, as you probably guessed from the trailers, maybe, there's an awful lot of cameos in this film. But not one of those cameos for me stood out. And not one of them delivered a line or humour or comedy that actually makes me remember their appearance in this film. And I think one of the mistakes that this film made was it relies massively on these very forgettable cameos. Another kind of little positive that I will give this film is Joanna Lumley as Patsy steals the show in this film. She owns this character, she commands this character, and she's absolutely great as Patsy. And she really did, when she's actually on the screen and she's doing her thing, I did kind of really laugh and I did chuckle. And she was on great form in this film. But there were also a lot of comedy punches that failed to hit the mark. The only real cameo that actually stood out for me was Kathy Burke. And you might know Kathy Burke from Gimme Gimme Gimme. And she was only in it for a small part, but as all the cameos are in this film. But she stood out for me out of all the other cameos. I think she was brilliant. I absolutely love her. I love her in everything that she's in. I find her incredibly funny. And in those very few small moments that she was in this film, it made me laugh. So overall, I don't think this film translated quite well into a film. I think it works better as a TV sitcom. There were very few moments in this film that captured that kind of tightness and smartness and the magic of the TV sitcom, but there were very too few of those moments. Patsy, played by Joanna Lumley, she was on great form in this film. I would say personally it's worth going just to see her. Jennifer Saunders is good, she's okay, but Joanna Lumley does really steal the show in this film. Overall, I just don't think this movie was as funny as I really wanted it to be, and it just failed to capture that magic of the TV show. I will recommend, if you're fans of the TV show, do check it out. But for me, overall, I was disappointed, but I feel like this movie had enough in it to kind of remind you of the TV show, to want to go back to the TV show. It just, kind of like the Simpsons movie. I kind of compared this a little bit to the Simpsons movie. Quite different in a way, but the Simpsons movie didn't work well as a movie at all, and I feel the same with this. Absolutely Fabulous belongs on the small screen. It belongs as a TV sitcom. So, but there's something to find in the film, but overall it was just a bit messy. I would be giving Absolutely Fabulous a C-. Thank you everyone again for watching, and whoever is watching my videos. And I have got a couple of films lined up. Tarzan, Central Intelligence, Neon Demon, which I'm really looking forward to seeing. And there's I think there's another one, I can't quite remember it, but I got quite a few films lined up that I'm going to try and squeeze in now over the weekend, and hopefully have reviews of them ready to upload next week. There's also a couple of unboxings due, my usual Z-Box and my Z-Box Threads, but I've also signed up to the Box of Horrors and Cool boxes, so I'll have them coming up, those unboxings coming up shortly as well. But again, thank you for watching, and I'm going to leave you with this little blooper from my very first video that I attempted to record back a couple of months ago. There you go. Welcome to my first YouTube video on my new channel. What am I saying?